first one here. Time for a little fireside chat. Today is November 30th. It is Monday, 2020. I guess the other day I actually even said 2019 again. It would be nice, right? Before all this insanity took place. But anyway, yeah, interesting times for sure. Alright, so Cyber Monday, so hopefully you guys are getting some good deals out there. I don't even been online yet. So I had to do some running around today. We have a day here at the homestead. It is a steady rain all day, so no outside activities today, unfortunately. So I knew that that was going to be the case. So I did have some running around that I had to do today, so that's what I was taking care of. But I wanted to come and I wanted to talk about something which I think is kind of important, and I think a lot of people don't even think about this aspect of things. Talk about an S.H.T.F event and when it happens, and what is it going to do? How's it going to affect you? You know, how ready are you for that? And what I'm talking about is this: weather related. Okay. You know, if you see in the movies, a lot of times, you know, it's just a regular, normal day, and people are going about their business, and it's sunshiny and it's nice outside, and all of a sudden, oh my God, you know, the bomb drops or whatever the case may be. But the reality is, the weather may not be like that. It may not be a nice sunny day. It might be a day like today, rainy, crappy, and miserable. Okay, and hey, Luce, what we doing? I just put the dogs out. All three are out in the run to go to the bathroom, and I figure I'm going to make a video now without 10 million dogs running around me. When I do a video, I'm going to do another video later. I'll probably have them in then, and we'll see the difference of the chaos with the pups in the house. But anyhow, like I said, I did want to talk about this topic because I think that it is important. You know, it may not be sunny, and if you are prepared for that, that's great. Like, so one of the things that I keep in my bug out bag in my car, because again, the chances are realistic. I mean, let's be realistic. The chances are going to be either you're going to be home when something happens, which is a greater possibility because most of us spend more time at home than we do at work, depending on what you do and what kind of days you're putting in, or you're going to be at work. Okay, so having that proper gear in your car is hugely important. So one of the things that I have in my bug out bag in my car always is a rain poncho. Alright? And you may, you know, I'm not sure, I don't think I need that. If it's miserable and it's raining, you're going to want that rain poncho, because otherwise you're going to get soaked to the bone in no time at all, and it's just going to make whatever you're trying to do that much worse. Being outside, doing any kind of outside activities in a post-event, and if the weather is miserable and it's raining and or snowing, you know, having proper gear, having, you know, a good pair of gloves, having a good pair of boots, extra socks, wool socks, those type of things, it's going to make all the difference in the world. Your comfortability level, I mean, okay, so those of us out here that are not out running marathons and are not triathletes and are in phenomenal shape, right? The transition from the creature comforts that we're all used to dealing with the way that the weather will be, you know, good or bad, whatever the case may be, in a post-event is going to be difficult enough. But when you throw the weather in as a factor, it can go from uncomfortable and not pleasant to just plain out miserable. If you don't have proper rain gear, and I think that's an important thing, and that's when I kind of wanted to focus on rain, because depending on what part of the country you're in, you're probably going to be dealing with rain at some point or another. Unless you're in the desert, obviously, you know, but they do have monsoon season out there as well. But, you know, for the most part, most of the country we deal with rain. And trying to do any kind of activity, and if, again, so we're talking about a situation where, let's say a grid down situation, and, you know, you can't have access to any more gas. You've used up all whatever gas that you have to do whatever you need to do. And hopefully people are smart enough to realize that they really need to ration that gas at that point. That would be the smart thing to do, but a lot of people aren't that smart. Unfortunately, they'll blow through their gas in no time, and then all of a sudden they don't have any gas. So how are you going to get around, and what are you going to do? I have a so this is like one of the things. Like my as you guys saw the other day, my sister Margie was over, and I probably have 5 or 6 bicycles in my extra building. Well, in Margie's building over here. I'm sorry. So I have 5 or 6 bicycles over there, and the way I explained it to her was, I said, in an S.H.T.F situation, eventually, bicycle is going to be the modus operandi, or by horseback or whatever like that. But not everybody owns a horse. Not everybody has proper equipment to take care of a horse and stuff like that. People that do it, they're going to have it, but for how long? How long to be able to have enough feed and there's a lot into it. But a bicycle is going to be there as long as you got extra tires, inner tubes and all that type of stuff. You're going to be able to, do a lot of things with a bicycle. And I think that's important. I think a lot of people don't think about that. Again, it's just something else that I think about. And, but again, having a good rain poncho, something like that, is going to be a hugely important thing. Having proper gear in your vehicle is also going to be really important, because if you're in your work shoes and okay, so let's do an example. Let's say in nursing, a lot of times nurses wear Crocs, that type of thing, because it's more comfortable on the feet when you're on your feet for long periods of time. Okay, or maybe you have a pair of sneakers on and stuff like that. Well, if it's snowing outside or heavily raining, all right, your feet are going to get wet in no time, which is going to make life much, much more miserable. Or if you've got a long walk that you have to do for whatever reason, because of traffic jams or accidents, whatever, now you have to abandon your car, you better have some proper footwear in there with proper socks. So those are just some things what I want people to do is I want people to think. That's a really big important thing for me. Think outside the box, think outside the normals, think outside your comfortability level. Always expect the unexpected, okay? That's what I think that a lot of people don't take into consideration. Always expect the unexpected, because we never know. And so if you can hedge your bets, okay, if you have in your vehicle, you have proper footwear, a rain poncho, gloves, warm clothing, pair of long johns, okay, that can make the difference if you make it to your destination or not. Having those proper things in your car, having a tarp if you have to make a shelter, having that wool blanket. Again, people are going. See, here's the thing: what I think people don't think about. People are going to freeze to death. All right, people are going to die of hypothermia because of the cold and stuff like that. You can get hypothermia in the summertime. I don't really know if anybody realized that, but if you're wet and you're damp and you're sleeping on the cold ground, the ground itself will suck the heat out of you, because we're 98 degrees. The ground is not going to be 98 degrees. So unless you know how to build a proper shelter, know how to put layers of leaves or pine needles down to use as a barrier, have something else, a plastic tarp or something like that. I keep a couple of extra contractor garbage bags, heavy duty garbage bags, in my bug out bag as well. And I do that for a purpose, because number one, that can be used as a layer between me and the ground. Put that down first, then you put the pine needles down, because up here we have a lot of pine trees, so I could use pine needles if I had to, the burrows, the branches, and use those as a layer between myself and the ground. You have to think about these things. People don't always think about these things, but that's what I do. That's all I do, is I think about different scenarios, different things. What if? Okay? Now, may never happen, but again, most likely, when something goes down, you're going to be one of two places. You're either going to be at work, or you're going to be at home. Now, if you're on vacation, obviously it's a whole different kettle of fish. Now it's a matter of trying to acquire the things that you need if you're on vacation. So again, you have to really think about all those things. Did you drive to your vacation destination spot? Did you take a plane? However you got there, So that's a whole different video. But again, the chances are that you are either going to be at home, or you're going to be at work. So if you are at work, depending on how far away work is, some people work's not that far. But even, let's say work was 3 miles away from your house, just say, and that's not the norm, but that does happen occasionally. You still have to get home. You still have to walk that 3 miles. And, if you are in average shape, most Americans will call it average, you're looking at 15-minute miles. So now you're talking about 45 minutes of exposure, okay, to make it home. Now, some people are going to walk faster, okay, some people are going to walk slower. Could be a 20-minute mile, so now you're talking about an hour. If you're going to be out there exposed to cold weather, you better be prepared, even if it's only 3 miles. Now, if it's longer, obviously that's a different game plan. But having the proper gear is going to make the difference if you make it home alive or not alive, or not make it home. Okay, that's why I wanted to do this video. I want people to think. So plan accordingly. Look at what you have. Look at what you have in your bug out bag. What scenarios are you ready for? Okay, and plan. I keep quite a bit of gear in my car. I'll be honest with you. I keep water. I keep food. I also keep, like I said, I have a wool blanket. I have extra pair of boots. I have plenty of socks. Socks can be used as gloves, or layered up on your hands, or they can be layered on your feet to keep your feet warm. Having extra dry socks available. My bug out bag, I have a dry bag on the inside that I put all of my stuff, and all of my stuff in my bug out bag is individually wrapped, again, in Ziploc bags and stuff like that to keep things dry. So it's in a Ziploc bag, put in a dry bag, put in my bug out bag. Okay, so there's 3 layers of protection for that there alone. Now, if I also have a poncho on top of that, there's another layer of protection. Keeping those things dry, keeping those things in a place where when you're ready to use them, everything is not soaked to the bone. That is such a huge thing. Being able to get that fire going, having proper dry tinder, having those type of things, everything is life and death in that type of situation, and that's what people need to think about. So how ready are you for that, folks? And if you're not, and if you think you are, so if you think you are, what I want you to do, again, sit down and think, what could happen, what region of the country where I'm at, what is a most likely, not most likely thing that could happen, but what would most likely do I need to have, obviously somebody that lives in the desert is going to have a different priority list than somebody that lives in the Northeast. So whatever region of the country that you're in, plan your bug out bag, plan those things according to what you need, what you have, what you may expect weather-wise, okay? She's not happy being out there. I can hear her through the walls because she wants to be in here with me. So I'll go out and get her in a minute here. But anyway, guys, I hope everybody is doing well. Let's think. Why do I do these videos? Why do I say different scenarios, what if, could have, and all this type of stuff? I want as many of you to survive that you can, especially people that are prepared. Think about being as prepared as you possibly can be. You have your home all set up and stuff like that. Work is 20 miles away from home, but you never really got around to putting in a proper bug out bag in your car or having proper gear in your car. Now it's wintertime, you're in the Northeast, now you got 20 plus miles to get home. That could take a few days, okay? Could take a few days, depending on what kind of shape you're in. You're not used to walking. Most people are not used to walking. I'll tell you what, me, I'm in okay shape. I'm not hugely fat. I'm a little overweight, I'm not going to lie. But again, it may not necessarily be just you. What if you have your children with you? Your children are not going to be able to go at the pace that you're going, especially if they're young. All right? All those things need to be factored in. If you have somebody with you elderly, you're going to leave them behind and outpace them and, know that you're going to make it home, but they're not. So again, those are also things that you need to think about. Like if I'm out, let's say I'm out with my mom, another great example. I'm out with my mom. We're on someplace, we're in town. I'll use it in town. We're in town, we're having lunch. The balloon goes up. Oh my God, we need to get home. Mom's not going to go the same pace as I am if we can't drive. If we're walking, she's not going to go at the same pace I am. I'm going to have to take more frequent rest stops. You know, it's going to take us longer to get home, but we're going to do what we got to do. You know, I'm not leaving my mom behind. So those are things, again, you need to think about those. You need to plan accordingly. Does that mean, again, I talked about a fold-up bicycle. It's one way to do it, okay? You know, again, but we just don't know. So think, plan ahead, be ready the best that you possibly can be, and hopefully one day you can say, man, I'm glad I listened to Prepper Nurse 1 because he's the reason that I made it home alive, or that we're surviving this situation because we planned ahead and we thought things through. That's my goal. Make you think, help you to survive. That's what I hope happens, okay? So anyway, guys, I'm going to jump off of here for now. I will do another video later. I hope you're all doing well. Remember, we are all in this together. That is important to remember. Also remember to hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important that you tell the ones that you love every day how you feel. Also remember STD. Step, thing, and day. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to accomplish, whatever you're trying to do, doesn't necessarily have to be off-grid related, doesn't have to be prepping related. As long as you're working towards that goal, you can reach those goals, and the only one that's going to stop you from getting there is you, okay? Stay positive, stay away from that negativity, and you're going to be just fine. I will talk to you all later. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now. I hope you've enjoyed the fire. It's going nice today. It's very warm sitting here by it.